Hey, what's up guys? Today we're talking about the battery life on the G Pro X Superlight and what it's like when you are running the best settings for gaming. And that's important because a lot of these settings are actually going to change how long the battery lasts. And so if you're curious about the best settings, I made a whole video on that, so be sure to check that out. So just to save you guys a lot of time, if you don't want to watch this whole video, I'm just going to say right now, this battery is fucking fantastic and blew away my expectations. So in the software, when you do change the settings, you do get an approximate from Logitech saying that with my best settings applied, it's going to last about 51 hours or so. So this is my log here on the left showing the usage over the last week or so. Now, a couple interesting things happened. The first thing I want to talk about is I think there's a small bug somehow within the software itself. I would charge the battery all the way to 100%. Multiple times I've done this. And then when I come back the next night, I would plug it in and then the battery would be specifically at like 61 to 62%. And I was concerned at first because I thought it was the battery, but then I would use the mouse for that session, come back the next day, and then the battery would be at like 96 or 95% of whatever it would actually be at. So it seems like there's some kind of weird bug that I'll still get once in a while, but then it always jumps back to like the 90% or where I would estimate it to actually be. So that's kind of interesting. It hasn't caused any problems with the performance of the mouse, and it's just something I'm aware of and I'm keeping an eye on, but for now, it's almost a non-issue. The other thing too is the battery is also going to jump up and down maybe a couple percentage between different sessions and usage. And one thing was interesting was that one night I did accidentally leave the mouse on the entire night. And between that, the battery life actually jumped up from 40% to 42%. So I'm not too sure why. Like I said, there was kind of a small fluctuation, but that was kind of interesting to see that. I don't know why. Maybe the sleep mode did something interesting with it, but this is something else I just wanted to mention. The other thing that was also noteworthy is that depending on the purpose of the session was also going to determine how quickly the battery drained. And what I mean by this is I was using the mouse for both work and gaming. When I spent time gaming, it would drain the battery quicker compared to, let's say, the same amount of time used for just work. And so that also makes a lot of sense because if I'm swiping a lot and clicking a lot in a game, it's going to be using the battery more. So after about 86% usage, about 70 hours has elapsed. So that is already well past their estimate of 51 hours, which is fucking fantastic. And I'm so happy with that. And I'm guessing that this estimate is probably just being extra conservative. If you're using the mouse non-stop for gaming, I could definitely see it lasting closer to 51 hours. So I also think that these numbers are going to vary depending on how you're using the mouse, what kind of game you're playing, if you're using it for work or just strictly gaming. But for me, my personal estimate is 100% usage of the battery would most likely be around the 80-hour mark or so. So if you're using all the best settings from my best settings videos, here would be my recommendation. If you're using the mouse about 8 to 10 hours a day, you want to charge it at least once a week. If you're using it less than 8 hours a day or somewhere around there, probably charge it every 1.5 weeks or so. And then 5 hours a day or less is definitely twice a month. I've always heard great things about the GPX battery, and I was curious to see what it was going to be like, especially with all the different settings that make it perform better for gaming. And man, it has just been really, really awesome. So I'm super happy with the mouse. It is performing great. And I got new mouse skates coming in pretty soon, so I might do a video on that. But I hope this helps, and thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it.